The Patriots continue their history of signing defensive-minded head coaches in Mike Vrabel. They already have their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator in familiar face Josh McDaniels and very impressive defensive lineman coach Terrell Williams. The things that the Lions were able to do despite all those injuries is nothing short of a miracle. Their pressure was better than most teams that had their starting front. So I'm really impressed with what they did, and the Patriots are standing on business. They're like, hey, we're ready to go. Let's start the season up now. Super Bowl, who gives a damn? We've got a bunch of those. Just look at our trophy case. But yeah, with Vrabel, I mean, you got to look at the Titans seasons early on with him as their coach. You got to remember, it feels like it's been so long, now, but they almost won against the Chiefs in the championship round. They were almost in the Super Bowl, and none of the teams Vrabel was coaching were really all that good. They were decent, but they were not beat the Chiefs, go to the Super Bowl decent. So put a little respect on his name. I know, things didn't really end so well. The team was basically completely depleted in Tennessee, and now joining a team that's pretty much in the same boat. You obviously have what seems to be a franchise-level quarterback in Drake Maye. Some of the big-time throws he made were some of the best across the league. You really couldn't see a better ball thrown by him if you tried. I mean, there really wasn't. Some of those throws were unbelievable. The problem is the lack of talent around him. This offensive line, once upon a time, it was the line that you traded all their players from when you were doing a rebuild. You're doing a speed rebuild, take 4 linemen for the Patriots, you got a whole line. Now, do you even have 1 lineman? Do you even have Onwenu? Maybe Cole Strange? Madden-wise, you got to replace at least 4 of these guys. I know David Andrews is injured, and he'll be in there, but, I mean, he's an older guy, about to retire anyways. Not quite the same guy he once was, like 87, 88 in Madden. Now he's 74, 75. Tight end, Hunter Henry, you know what you're getting with him. His ceiling is not great, but his floor is pretty good, right? Like he's a pretty dependable tight end, assuming he's not injured. Wide receivers, this is where, the problems happen. I mean, you got guys that didn't even sniff 1,000 yards. I mean, you put a decent bit of draft capital for that wide receiver position. Didn't really get a dynamic guy, and obviously they didn't really play well, them being Polk and Baker. Wide receivers, Boutte. I mean, if they could play the Bills 17 games in the season, he might actually beat Calvin's record, but that's not obviously the case. Damari Douglas, probably their best wide receiver on the team, which is not saying a whole lot, as you kind of want him in the slot as he's, on the shorter side. Stevenson, I could roll with him another year. I don't think he was amazing by any stretch, but he's a good starting running back. He's near the bottom of the starters in the league, but he's a starting level running back. Of course, kind of figured the offensive side of the ball there, not a side that has really played well in recent years, that's for sure. Then you have the defense where Jabril Peppers is one of your best players on the entire team, but then you got that issue of age. 28 years old. How much longer is he going to play, especially in Madden at a high level? Obviously, Christian Gonzalez is your very best defender. Probably should have been a superstar. He's a 90 overall, second team All-Pro. Why are you making him so good, so young, but you're not upping his dev? Isn't that literally the definition of what he's done? Isn't he just shown you that? If you got him a 90 overall at 22, 23 years old, why is he not superstar or higher? I don't know. Interior of the D-line, problem. Linebackers across the board, especially edge, problem. Jonathan Jones has been a very good player for this team for so long, but once again, he's getting older. Duggar was not great. This is a team that needs a lot of work on the defensive side of the ball, and I guess perfect timing for Vrabel to come in as the coach. I don't know what we're going to do in the draft, though. That's the problem. I mean, maybe the title and thumbnails already exposed that and spoiled that, but I almost feel like you pull what Chicago did before going Caleb. You're like, okay, we have problems on both sides of the ball, but we have a quarterback here that maybe want to see what he's all about. What can he do for us? I don't think the Patriots are anywhere near moving on from a guy like Drake Maye. In fairness, it's not quite the same situation. But if you're going to put one side up, you're going to do well with one side, even though you got the defensive-minded head coach. Would it not be the side that has the potential franchise, not the side that is considered, the offensive thing of the league? It's an offensive league. It's a passing league. Would you not invest in the O-line? Would you not invest in the wide receiver high? And then, whatever free agents you can come by for defense, just let it be. Because you're not going to fix this team in 1 year. That's the whole point of this rebuild. It's going to take a couple of years, but I personally think you invest on the offensive side of the ball. But we'll see. Best available comes around. Whatever we want to do, might do it on the fly. There's so many different names that I'm looking at. Right now, though, if I were to kind of narrow down, wide receiver, edge, tackle, maybe not in that order, but those are the three that I'm probably thinking with that top 5 pick. Also, if you end up enjoying this video, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff on the channel, obviously including rebuilds. If you're not new, though, I do appreciate continued support on the channel. Also, maybe click the join button. It's next to the subscribe button to become a member. We have a couple of members-only rebuilds up on the channel. Check it out if you want. Regardless, let's get into this Patriots rebuild, which could unironically be the toughest rebuild we've done all year. I don't know why. I'm just kind of projecting it out. Don't yell at me. Also, you would assume the Patriots are going to move to a proper 4-3, right? None of this like hybrid stuff. Also, we all have to talk about the fact that Maye got the shaft. Let's be real. How are you expecting him to turn the team around in one season? 2 years minimum should be what the head coaches of a new head coaches, at least, of a team that's not in a good spot as is, should get, unless they're horrible, right? Kind of crack is EA smoking, and then offensively, do you do the Raiders? I don't know if I think he's been like a career Patriot at this rate. Let's just keep it on the Patriots for now. Even though I don't really like their scheme too often, I don't think. Got an Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl rematch. It's kind of gearing up like that right now, but you just never know with the Commanders. They actually look kind of good. Putting up a lot of points. Even though the Lions defense was injured, against a Lions defense that was still doing really, really well. And you have the Super Bowl winner of the Chiefs. DevOps, I don't know if we would have had any here. Even Christian Gonzalez had a pretty good year, but statistically, the stats that are going to get your devs going, not really the case, right? Low interception totals. No DevOps on offense, unfortunately. And then defensively, I don't think any here either, which is really, disappointing, but what can you do? Also have Mapu at middle linebacker. I feel like he's decently young enough to be, a starter, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to put him as a safety. So I just moved to middle linebacker. Maybe he does go to strong safety, but yeah, this is a team that is going to take some work. Like I said, this is going to be one of the toughest ones we've done this year. I think because of Drake Maye, you maybe drop it down into the top 3 rather than the toughest, but at the same time, with a top 5 draft pick, I could have just went with a rookie quarterback anyway, so that's kind of void, if you will. But, let's take a look at the retirements, see if there's any, because this Patriots team is, rather old, to be honest. They had no, retirements, which is, I suppose, good. I don't think it really matters too much, if we're going to be honest. Media available. No, we're not going to, hey, you're going to win the draft, buddy? I don't know, dude. Let me live. Player meeting as well. You change a player that I don't really know their freaking style as is. 27-year-old, man, the age of Cole Strange. Oh, Jonathan Jones, once again, career Patriot at this rate. 7.5 to not have to worry about corner 2. I think is a pretty fair trade-off. Andrews, another career Patriot here. I mean, you keep him long-term, right? You just got to do what you got to do here. As far as everyone else goes, though, a bunch of regression pieces. Joey Sly, still our kicker, by the way, in Patriots franchise. Going to go for a 2-year 4 with him. Don't even know if he actually played well. That's one of the guys I actually don't know too much about. The kickers are very volatile these days in the NFL, so if you're not really paying attention to them, you're not keeping an eye on them, you can end up saying some things that just aren't true. It's like, oh, yeah, he's a pretty good kicker. It's like, Justin Tucker did what this year? He missed, huh? Now, it wasn't like the craziest worst season ever, but for him, it's like, whoa, really? Jacoby Brissett, been on this team for a long time, gone, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, these guys are all really just not long-term options. I'd rather be almost void of the position than to pay any money for somebody that's just got no chance to develop. I suppose headed towards free agency, the hopes would be that T. Higgins is there, right? That's kind of one of the big names almost every year lately, is that T. Higgins is a free agent, and unfortunately he's not. Trent Brown, could you see him returning back to the Patriots? His team loves to bring back old names, so wouldn't surprise me to see it happen. Nick Bolton, potentially a cap casualty here of the Chiefs. I imagine they didn't let him go all willingly. I would love to bring him in. I just don't think we're going to be able to get him. Like, how much am I going to have to pay to get him here? I'm willing to do it. I'm kind of curious to see how much is it going to cost. I don't want to pay too much. $17 million per. I mean, I'd be pretty close to that. If it's $17 million, I'm down. Okay, I mean, $17 million over 5 for an 83 overall 25. It's a little expensive, but That's what I would expect to pay. I'd expect to pay 13 to 15, 17 on the open market. I can live with it. Holland, I mean, can one of these guys play strong safety? Could go Jeremy Chin, a little more interested anyways. I mean, this team does need to spend some free agent money, right? You got that rookie, quarterback contract. You have so many needs. I mean, I think you pay as many as you can. Holland looks like he might be on our team. Trent Brown, can we move someone over to left tackle on one who is not the most athletic? But, I mean, I suppose either is Trent Brown. But I guess Trent's going to be playing left tackle for us if he joins us. Tevin Jenkins we could use, but that's just a little bit too costly, I think. He's got too many names, or teams tied to his name. Running backs, nothing really going on. So, I mean, we got a couple of names that I really do like. Mekhi Becton's not a bad name either. Is this one of those, like, the Eagles line making everyone look good situations, though, and this is a bad decision? Probably, but I'm all about... Oh, I guess I'm not all about bad decisions. He's gone. Yeah, I am not going 5-bar for him. That's like 15, 20 mil per. Chase Young, I mean, the guy with some potential motor issues. Like, is he going to play well? Is he going to try on a team that just doesn't really look like they have the greatest outlook right away? I don't know. But at the same time, edge, he would be our number one edge rusher immediately. So I think you almost have no choice but to go for someone like Chase Young. 2-year 20 is not bad money. It really isn't. 2-year 21, whatever. 2-year 22, I think you got to pay it. Like, we just need an edge rusher so bad. All right, let's see how many of these guys we get. We're the highest offer on all of them, so I don't see why we wouldn't get 4. We get 3. Wait, who did we just lose? Did we lose Chase Young? Really? That was one of the guys that I actually felt almost guaranteed to get. It was the Giants for similar money. I don't know. Sure, whatever, I guess. Nick Bolton, anyways. Going to join us? No, we're going to lose Nick Bolton as well. Okay, what is the offer? A 5-year 50 versus I don't even know what we offered him. It was ridiculous. It was 17 per. What does that come out to? Was that 85? Did he take a 5-year 50 over a 5-year 85? Is that what I'm hearing? That's pretty good work, EA, You guys are crazy with it. I'm a little surprised that it's Holland that actually joined. I thought he would have been the toughest guy to get out of all of these, but no. Apparently it was the guy that we paid $17 million for per year. That was the hardest one. I will say, T. Higgins, he's not quite the overall he used to be, but it would have been nice to have him. I definitely would have paid him without a doubt. 86 overall at that age. That's easily worth it without any questions. But unfortunately, they found a way. Probably going to lose some other players in the future. But, yeah, $91 million. Didn't quite spend what we were hoping for. We were looking to spend like 50-ish. Maybe more, but... I mean, we got the highest overall, but man, Nick Bolton, that's a bit of a miss, I think. I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. But obviously Chase Young, I don't think he's a long-term option, but short-term he would have been decent. And I really don't want to pay anyone else here. Maybe James Daniels. And we're missing so many linemen. And we do get him last second, 2-year 21. I don't hate that. Serviceable. All right, we are in the draft, and we're sitting at 4 overall. Obviously, there's so many different needs on this team. We talked about a wide receiver, tackle, edge, obviously. Top 2 picks, are they going to be corner? They are. The Giants at 3. Do they go tackle? They do. That tackle position, Will Campbell would have been the one guy I would take at 4. Everyone else, probably not going to be the case. Mason Graham, defensive tackle, definitely a need, but not the need. Wide receiver is right up there. You got McMillan, number 4 overall. Would that be a bad selection? Probably not. Not the fastest, but very dependable. Strong hands. I feel like we do it all the time, but I really want to trade down. I really want to grab 2 like 15 to 16 range guys rather than 1 top 4, top 5 guy. Like I can go Scorton and a wide receiver at 15, 16 potentially. Maybe Pierce if not. I don't know if I want to go all the way up in number 4 here. I don't know if I see this as a smart decision. So I'm going to look at a trade down, see what value I'm getting. If not, I might end up taking McMillan, not going to lie. Also, what is this trade? Like, are you serious? Like, what is that trade? So the Falcons are willing. They're willing to move from their spot. I'm not sure if 15's high enough for me. I really want edge. I really want wide receiver. I need a lineman. I'm going to try to make a manual trade. We'll see. Is there any teams with 2 first-round picks? I can't remember. It's got to be somebody. Oh, here we go again. All right, here it is. Caden Wallace, Kendrick Bourne. Really didn't need those players. That really shouldn't have. The first-round pick for those picks should have been enough on their own. But we ended up trading a first round this year, a fifth round this year, a fifth round next year, and a fifth round the year following to get a first, second, and third this, and a third next from the Cardinals, moving down to pick 16. Now, I'm hoping there's some sort of edge rusher, some sort of, pass, wide receiver at that position. And then maybe we can trade up to like Cincinnati's pick at 17. So far, not the best because Pierce is gone, but I don't hate it. Jets go QB. That's great. Do not like Williams going 8th. Yours at 9 is great for us. Corner at 10 is awesome. Burden, wide receiver. Wait, there's no way. McMillan's still there at 12. Dallas does need wide receiver, but they could also use running back. If I could get McMillan at 12 after the trade down, that would be unbelievable. So I'm going to try to make that trade happen. A 4th-round pick to do so. Very close to it. This is a crazy... I should have looked just to be sure because I'm almost certain McMillan's gone. There's no way. There's no way he's still here. There's no way we made the trade down from 4 to 12, basically, and still got McMillan. There's no way. I refuse to believe it. I can still get an edge rusher as well if I trade up. Did we really get McMillan at 12? Yeah, he's still there. They take Burden at 11. Niners have a type, and of course, on top of Banks is there too. On top of it, he's not bad. McMillan is there. What about the other edge rushers? Also, Carter's probably still there, and he probably shouldn't be, right? Carter's still there. Damn. I can make the argument for McMillan. I don't think I can make the argument for Carter. I don't think he would be here this late. 12 for McMillan. That's going to be our choice. Finally getting Drake Maye, a real wide receiver 1. Not the best athleticism, but that Drake London type. Drake London, Mike Evans type, if you will. Now, we're going to move down a little bit. We're going to pay attention to edge. We're going to, trade up for one of 3 guys. Carter at 15 is a steal. Ekbuka, so the Cowboys still get their wide receiver. They just add draft picks. So Jack Sawyer was one of my guys. Make sure Scorton's obviously still there, but do we have any other options? Like Peyton, I think, is there too. You also have Uman Mielen. Got that tackle still there, too. Patrick Peyton or Scorton. I'd be kind of down for either of them, I think. Let's take one look. Very athletic. I don't know what that finesse move is, though. All right, it's a pretty lucrative trade again. Taki, a third this, a second this, a 4th and 6th next year, and then a 6th 2 years from now to move up to 19. We're going to be taking Nick Scorton. Edge rusher, kind of projected, middle of the first round. I think this has been a really good draft for us, though, so far. I forgot about running back. I really wanted to land one of these running backs. I just think that long-term, it's really hard to develop those guys, and this class got some running backs, but in general, earlier that I can go, the better. Either way, Nick Scorton, we're going to have some pretty heavy edge rushers, but that's going to be the guy we take. 1 to 2 projection, 47 true, hidden dev. Move on to the next round. I really can't justify trading up for a running back, but I'm still going to pay attention just in case there's some other picks there. What do we got? Genty. We still got all those running backs there. Yeah, like I said, I just can't justify trading up for a running back. I really can't. Even at 16, I don't even know if I can justify drafting one, let alone trading up for one. Next pick is 16 in the 3rd. Imagine a lot of the running backs are gone. Let's see. Genty is still there, which is just obviously untrue. I'm going to look at some of these other projections, see if maybe we want to go Henderson, Hampton. Even those guys might be gone. All right, so those running backs are actually projected pretty well to where they are right now if we were to take one, other than Genty, obviously. We need linemen, but not that badly. We got a bunch of veterans, and maybe not the best long-term options, but we do got some guys. I need one off-ball. You know what? I think I can live with the roster we have. I need one off-ball. Don't even need a running back, but I'll take one. And then maybe a lineman, maybe a tight end. I don't hate taking a running back here, though. So I think Omarion Hampton, because of that athleticism, is where I'm going. Omarion Hampton, that's running back 1. Pick 18 true, hidden dev. That's our long-term running back. We've added some weapons, moved to 16. Once again, can't justify a trade up. We do have a 3rd round next year. Maybe we can trade into the 4th or something, but any higher than that I don't think is worth it. See what we got here. We do have a tight end still. A couple of guys. Helm is decently athletic. Lackey, maybe not so much. But once again, we have a good enough not running back. Good enough tight end as is. We could live with what we've got. Turner, I mean, we've had him a billion times. He's good, but I don't even know if I really need him. Mondin, man, these linebackers have like never developed for me. Never used Barham though. Not very good in coverage though. I don't really like it. I don't like it. And Jelani Tavai with Bentley and Mapu. I mean, we got 3 linebackers, so I guess we don't need one, sort of. Styles obviously usually really good, tall and fast. I mean, they already taken Mapu that they've moved around a lot, so you get yourself another Mapu with way better athleticism. And this team could use tackle, but we got Trent Brown back, which is big. Donovan Jackson. I mean, he's not the best looking. He's 23 as well. I don't like these linemen. I just hate the user-created lineman classes. They're always tough to deal with. Had Styles a bunch of times, but, I mean, compare him to everyone else. A lot of these other guys are, pass rushers as well. He's the best available, without a doubt. Screw it. Pretty good fit for this team to move around a bunch of different players at safety and linebacker. We're going Sonny Styles. Hidden dev, very fast, kind of raw, worth it. Go to the 7th round and try to fill in whatever kind of gaps we can. And in the 7th round, we're going to go Dane Key. 6'3", 156, true talent. Not the best in speed, but add to the wide receiver room. I know we didn't really do much for the DT or O-line spots, but we did go decently hard in free agency on the O-line. We added 2 names, so we didn't go completely empty, just not so much in the draft. Bunch of trade ups and downs, which cost us depth, but it also landed us higher-end talent, right? 3 what seemed to be franchise-level talents in the wide receiver, edge, and running back spots. Outside of, tackle, we really landed, everything we were hoping for. All the catch traits in the world. McMillan, I don't know what number I want. 83? Also don't know if I want his real-life number either. Star Dev, 89. I don't like any of these numbers. 81's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. A lot of people would kill for that number. I think that's a good number. Nick Scorton. Can we get the name, though? Do we mind? Can we? Dev, what's his dev? Star Dev as well, I'd imagine. But, just curious. 91's all right. I don't even know if it's right end or left end. We'll fix that when we get there. Hampton, 76 overall, hidden dev. I like the draft pick. I just think you got to look long-term in Madden. As much as you can live with Stevenson right now, I want a really good running back long-term, not just a guy that's going to be good for a season or 2. And Hampton could be that guy. He's 21 years old, super long-term guy. Styles will play linebacker. I guess we'll take a look at him real quick. Super raw, but not bad. I mean, I guess I say super raw, but not really. He's actually pretty good. Left outside linebacker, why not? You could stay there. And then Key, 68 overall Key. What is he looking like? He has, some okay traits. Catching base isn't good, but the rest of the catching traits or ratings are. Curious to see what draft picks we have, though, because we definitely hurt ourselves in the future a little bit, but we did add that extra 3rd, so that might be able to negate almost all of it. Not all of it, but most of it. Let's see. Of course, we have that extra 3rd. We lose a 4th, a 5th this year. So 4th and 5th this year, a 5th and a 6th the next year, and a 6th. No, so a 4th, 5th, 5th, 6th. We get a 3rd out of that, so we're missing maybe a 5th round pick if you're really, talking about if we wanted to trade this pick down. Not bad, actually. Considering we moved up and down to get a bunch of different players that were, realistically, edge/wide receiver is what I was going to take at 4. Instead, I got both of them right around the middle at 12 and 19. We'll say the Patriots in real life, they've definitely been more willing than they ever have during the Brady years, prime Belichick years, to trade down. They've definitely showed that over time recently, and I think in this draft specifically, it's definitely going to benefit us big time. So we are far from done with developing the team, but it is definitely looking a lot better, right? We got ourselves a new left tackle. Apparently these guys are both injured still, out for 3 weeks, I guess. And then we have a brand new right guard, but the rest of the line, hasn't really changed much, which is not a good thing, but considering we needed a lot more in the weapon department, I think we did a little bit of that, right? We got a brand new wide receiver 1 who looks to be a true franchise X-receiver. Demario Douglas is going to play the 2 instead of the slot. And then Hampton looks to be, the long-term running back 1. Hopefully we can get him to an 80, 81 overall by the end of the year. And then defensively, a bunch of stars here as well. Huge signings with Holland at strong safety, and then drafting Scorton and Styles gives us some potential. DTs probably both need to be replaced, even Barmore, and then Keon White, we're going to play him at the edge. I know he's a little hefty, same with Scorton, but I'm going to allow it. They're both fast enough. We're going to let it happen, see what happens there, and then hopefully, maybe one of them gets a superstar. Who knows? Linebackers maybe need some work. Safeties maybe, Peppers, but There's a couple of guys that need to be replaced on both sides of the ball, but for right now, this exact season, speaking of this alone, it's not actually that bad. Marte Mapu is a superstar. I don't know if that's the guy I would have wanted the most to get a free dev up, but he did. 81 mil, Bentley. Been a, Patriot for a while. Don't know if I can pay him, though. We can afford him. It's just that age. Strange, same situation. Jones even. I mean, all these kind of veterans that are playing for us right now, I think they're all going to be gone. I just don't see a reason to keep them long term. Marcus Jones is a pretty solid slot, so we'll go with him. Don't want to replace everybody on this team. 3 or 15 is pretty good for him. 77 mil, I mean, maybe Strange, possibly. I still just don't see it. 5-12 record, brand new team, brand new scheme. Nothing's changed, unfortunately. Changed the playbooks up near the end, as the 2 different playbooks I used beforehand really weren't working out. Tampa Bay is not what it used to be in Sim. Ended up, I don't even know which playbook I ended up with, but 18 touchdowns, 18 picks would be beyond devastating for Patriots fans to witness. I don't know what to think about that, but McMillan, he had a really good glow up after the switch again. He was like week 14, he had 600 yards, finished with 1,300 yards with 9 touchdowns with the Bengals. That's what it is, the Bengals playbook. Douglas wasn't so bad, but the touchdowns lacking in general, of course. Offensive line, not bad. Mapu, bunch of different XP boosts. I wonder what his actual overall is. It's got to be pretty high. Yeah, an 80 overall. He had I don't even know, 4 4,500 XP boosts throughout the year. I wonder if I can catch one of these. Do we have any tackles? No. There was 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them for a continued breakout or whatever. And there should be one right here, no? It says 8,900. There it is, 4,500 XP boost. He had 4 of those, 3 or 4 of those on the year, and yeah, he got to an 80 overall. So, I mean, it's never too late for anyone, I guess. Scorton, nope, 3.5. Lion scheme doesn't seem to be the way. Mapu could go to an X Factor. What a freaking turnaround that would be. Special teams is okay, except the punting was a little bad, yards per punt-wise. Josh Allen wins MVP. We did get offensive and defensive rookie of the years, though. We'll take that. Not a perfect season by any means, but 2 Rookie of the Year award wins is 2 guaranteed dev-ups, and Mapu could be another at X Factor, which would be crazy. To go from likely released to re-sign, and not re-sign because he's too expensive, would be ridiculous. But let's take a look. Winner of the Super Bowl, you got the Eagles in there again, I believe it was, against the Ravens, bird battle. And the winner is the Eagles by 2. Let's take a look at those devs. Obviously, the wide receiver is going to go up. Maybe Mapu, like we said. Obviously, Styles. McMillan's an 84 overall. Pretty good stuff. Defensively, Mapu does not go to Superstar, or to X Factor anyways. Styles is a Superstar, as expected, 80 overall. Linebackers are actually looking way better than I thought. All the finesse. I hate when that happens. Gonna have to switch, whatever. I don't know. Let's see. 81 finesse. Put that equally into, drop it down to 65 and put it equally into block shed and coverage, I guess would be fair. But at the same time, half tempted to just put him at freaking left end or something. He could actually play there. Not going to do it, though. I want him in coverage. We'll go for a different pass rusher if we want to do that. So we're going to do 4 into man coverage, 4 into zone coverage, 8 into block shed. That comes out to 16, of course. 8 into block shed is 76, I believe, right? Then 70, there you go. I believe that's right. I don't know. I probably messed that up, but he's going to be a lower overall than 80 overall anyways, 76, so we take the L regardless of the point. Yeah, 81 finesse is actually way more than, 16 points off is probably realistically more like 20, if that, maybe more. It is what it is. I'm fine with it. I don't want him to be an edge rusher, so I'll take the hit just to make him actually start upgrading block shed / coverage stuff instead of speed rusher. Talking about retirements, some of those mentor backups, Irvin and Golston. Pretty sure we took care of all of our negotiations, about $100 million. Gonzalez, I'll just pay long term. Strange, I think we can do better than all of these guys, even Jones in free agency. They're not terrible, but we can definitely do better with $100 million. We have to. There's no way we can't. Would be nice to get another wide receiver offer in free agency. I would say another, but you know what I mean? Another wide receiver onto our team. Fuller, that's a 1 year. away. I don't hate that. He's a superstar in this one, but we'll have to kind of evaluate that because it is expensive for, kind of a middle of the pack kind of guy. Pace, 10 million per over 3. Like, we got to spend money, and they're just like, we're not. We can't just sit around with this money. Nakobe Dean, we've had him a few times now, but nobody wants him. I've got to pay him. I've got to offer it, okay? I threw an offer for a 4-year 80 on him. I don't think we're going to get that. And as much as I wasn't really thinking about going for Fuller, I was going to 1-year Jones anyways. So 1 year a guy that's better than that, it's not a bad trade-off. We're trying to bandage this team together, right? Like, you get whatever you can in free agency, and you bandage for that year, and then you work on the things you couldn't get in free agency. Shakir, I really wasn't thinking about getting. I really hate that price, but I also like the fit, like, a lot. Didn't really play well, though. I don't know. That is expensive. 17.5 for 84 overall, slot type realistically. Not really looking to that as an option, I don't think. Interior of the line definitely could be worked on, so we'll see what we got for options. Batonio is one of them. Could go Pace at linebacker. I think we can easily get like a third round linebacker. No, we got Nakobe, actually. Excuse me. Pretty weak free agent group again, though, and all this money is going to just be sitting around for the most part because 20 mil is coming back, dude. There's no way OA is joining us. There's just no OA. All right, we are down to just Batonio. We have 5 guys. Let's see. I'm expecting 3. We do get Fuller, which was a team that actually matched the offer to a 5-bar. We get Seiler, who was expensive, but we need a defensive tackle. Batonio and Nakobe Dean. I can't remember who we missed. Oh, yeah, OA, which, we expected to miss. That's fine. Those are the 4 guys I really wanted out of the 5, and once again, inching closer to a competent roster. Here we are with pick number 4 again. We are all the way up here. I actually didn't really anticipate having that high of a pick, because sometimes I leave these rebuilds for a day. I start them off, I'd leave them. I forgot that we actually had such a bad year. Like, I completely forgot. I was looking for a later, kind of first round type of player. A couple of those might be the same kind of draft situation as the first year. Maybe we go to 10, grab an edge rush or something like that. I've got a lot of really good players at the end of the first round. I was expecting to just kind of go to that pick, take whoever's there. But no, we actually have, once again, a 4th pick overall. And way too many players to be drafting here at 4. Super convoluted trade. We trade Andrews, Buttigieg, Godshaw, first this, a 4th next, a 4th the following year, for a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd this year, a 3rd next year, and then a 6th 2 years from now from the Chargers. Not going to be making the trade up like we did in the first draft. The Chargers ended up trading up for Tresman Ford. Edge rusher, looked pretty good, I will admit. If you really believe in one specific guy, you don't hate a trade-up, obviously. As far as what we're going to be doing here, there's a lot of different names. Wide receiver is definitely on my list. I definitely want to come away with at least one. Edge rusher, you could stick it out with White, I suppose, but I probably would rather just go edge. Sitting here at 14, looking pretty good for edge. 6'4", not very fast, a power move. Looked at the attributes. Did not look at the 40 times. So, yeah, thank God we looked deeper because there's no way I would take him with that speed or lack thereof. Then you have 4'7", 40 from Summers. He looks good, but not great. And then we have the edge rusher who is almost like these left and right ends are almost always normal dev. 6'6", 21 years old. He's got a 1 or 2 talent grade. I really don't know if I feel great about him, but I don't know if I have much of a choice. Leon Brinkley, just be hidden. That's all I ask, even if you're star. Thank you. Slow as hell, but the future at the edge seemingly set. We trade a 2nd and a 3rd this, and a 3rd 2 years from now to the Lions for 28. The 2nd and 3rd this were like middle of each round. I wanted to keep pick 4 because I need a wide receiver as well, but the cornerback who's 6'4" is there. So I want to future-proof the cornerback position a little bit. James Johnson, welcome to the team. B-man, B-zone, pretty fast, 6'4". 16 true and normal dev, but man, for a moment, it really felt like the McKenzie move we made in our Patriots franchise. That would have been kind of crazy. Like, to basically repeat that, if you will, if we lose our wide receiver. I skipped it because the Vikings shouldn't need wide receiver. Thank you. I was about to say, we get to pick 4 in the 2nd round without having to trade up, which is likely going to be Mr. Gio Cousins, 6'3", 22 years old. Fast enough, you're getting yourself, basically 2 tall, possession-y, good wide receivers And this one happens to also be hidden dev. What a draft pick that was. Let's take a look at who is remaining. We need a lot of O-linemen. Right now, we're fine. We need just one, and we'll be fine. But as far as longevity goes, not great. DT, we basically need two. We finished, we got edge, we got wide receiver. Offensive lineman, at least one of them definitely is a positional need. Tight end also wouldn't hurt. This guy, he's decent. Don't really know a whole lot about him, but looked good enough. Then you have Callahan, who's a little bit slower, but he's, a big dude with some decent key ratings. 4.61. He's not bad by any means. So probably going to try to get Callahan and one lineman. So let's move on to the next pick. Linebacker, we're fine on, thankfully. Safety, we definitely need a new one going forward, but not just yet. Do we have an extra third? I think we're done after that. We do. We have pick 4 as well. That's huge. Might even go safety. Safety is not the easiest position to get, and there's still one that's a day 1 to 2. He's a bit raw, but he's fast enough. Do you not just start him over Jabril? Not our biggest need, right? We need O-line. Maybe a tight end, a little bit higher, but I wouldn't hate that, I really would not. 6'3", get yourself a 6'4" lineman. And we got multiple linemen here, so as much as I do like Hartley, it's going to be hard to pass. You know what? I don't need a safety just yet. I'm going to go Hartley. And if the safety's there at 4, I'll take him. 28 true talent. Normal dev, man. That sucks. And of course, Boston goes 1 pick before us. Maybe a blessing in disguise because maybe he's normal dev. Maybe he doesn't develop into anything. And, we go with another lineman here and they're actually good this time. But yeah, there's another Boston as well there that we could go with. Looking at one of these linemen, we need everything. 2 to 3 O-line being here still worries me, but also has potential. Really, either of them look good. The pass block guys are more consistent to me, though, so I'm going to go James Powers. Pure pass block, please. 12 true. Hidden dev. 12 true with hidden. That's a huge draft pick. We're going to go into the next round and trade up. We trade a bunch of veteran types and a 7th round pick to move up for this high 4th. Might even get risky and go for that safety as well and trade on Keon. Would maybe be worth it, I think. Callahan, though, Lorenzo Callahan, looks pretty solid. If he's hidden, that would be a super steal. 83 true. And he is! He's actually a little slower than I even thought, to be honest. I thought 84, 85, but 83. But he's hidden dev. That is a super gem. I needed that big time. And then we'll take a look at Boston. We'll see if we want to make that trade up or not. Got Mr. Marcus Boston. B zone coverage 5'10". Yeah, I do. I think he's a bit raw. We're looking at a 70, 71 overall normal, possibly. But if he ends up being, a rookie of the year type candidate or something like that, maybe he develops. Maybe. And this is a perfect trade. The Steelers wanted a left end, right end for their 3-4, and Keon White is basically that perfect fit. Let's see what we can do with that safety. Come on. Give me the juice. What do we got so high here? Mullins, not bad. Quarterback as well. Don't need a QB, though. Mr. Marcus Boston, perfect free safety. Let's see it. 144 true, normal dev, 91 speed. Maybe we'll see what we got there. If he's decent enough zone, decent enough overall, we'll start him. We have a UDFA corner with some good zone coverage. Okay speed, maybe 90. Good Excel, 130 true, normal dev. Yeah, that's not bad. Backup safety, probably. And that's the rest of our draft class. There was some ups and some downs. We heard our draft future for sure. This time we didn't have an extra pick. Talking about the argument, we could just trade down to recoup what we lost. Pretty sure we actually have a lot missing now. 2027, so we have... I don't think this is updated. Maybe it is. It could be updated. We'll see. Maybe we do have that extra third. Maybe we're not. We basically did the same thing as last year almost, so... Hey, it didn't really work out, but we got some good players, and like we said here, 74, 75, 75, 74, 75. Then you have the 70 overall tight end who is hidden. Boston is really rare, I will admit. Rare raw. 68 overall, but very good zone. I don't know if I see it with him. I'm going to start Peppers, I think. I got to, right? He's just too low of an overall. Leon Brinkley, very raw. Not the best. I'm expecting star dev, but you never know. You could land a superstar, could land an X-Factor. He's just not a guy that jumps off the page, which is the perfect candidate to be good dev. Fortunately, not today. But yeah, he will be a starter, obviously. And then James Johnson, 6'4", really good, just, normal dev. That's the only downside. The literal only bad thing about him as a rookie. Cousins, 75 overall, automatic 2. Douglas goes to 3. Very good route running, especially for the short range stuff. Really solid catching, just fast enough at 6'3". Looks good to me. Let's take a look what his dev is. It is star. I was expecting better, but that's fine. Let's go with number 18. That's pretty cool, I suppose. Then we move on to the next pick. O-line, 74 overall. Very disappointed that he's normal dev. Looking like a future right guard, left guard situation. We'll keep him at right guard right now. It doesn't really matter too much. But the center, or he will be center at least for us, I imagine, James Powers was hidden dev. 75 overall. Very good pass blocking. I knew the guy we were taking was going to be normal, and I knew this guy was going to be hidden. I felt it. I just felt it. I'm just going to commit to pass blocking guys. That's all that matters now. Pass blocking only. Lorenzo Callahan, very raw, medium, and deep route. Decent enough catching across the board. Fast enough at 6'6". See if he's anything special. Superstar? I was really feeling superstar. I don't know. I don't know why. It just was. But I do want to take a look at some of those edge rushers we could have had but didn't take. And I think that's it. I don't really care about anyone else. So we were at pick, 14? One pick before us was Sapp. He was slow, so I probably wouldn't have went him anyways. Bush, very solid looking, but 77 speed. Bullet dodged for the most part. Very good pass block / run block shed anyways. Pass block? Block. I'm done. I lose. Okay? I lose. I can't speak. Okay? I have lost. You win, EA. You always win. Okay? Where's the next guy? But pass rushing and run stopping, the block shedding. Summers way faster than I thought, mind you. Very similar to the guy we got. We absolutely missed with this pick. This guy is, no matter what his dev is, better than the guy we took. And watch on top of it. Watch on top. It's okay. We're not going to get too mad. We're just going to be happy that we're here. I mean, it really does suck that the guy was basically the last pick of the first round. We took our guy at the 14th spot, but still, it could have been worse. Could have took the normal dev that was slow. Dane Sawyer, definitely the best tight end in this class, without a doubt. No question about it. Just didn't feel like taking, basically a first-round tight end. Should have, though. Superstar. Should have. Idiot. And, of course, Dobbins, a few picks before us. 5 higher overalls. Hidden dev, 80 overall. Versus our normal dev, 75. And his dev is star, but oh my, he was a good player. All right, Season 2, we added even more to the offense. Definitely need to work on the offensive line. I worry about the longevity there. We got a lot of one-year guys and a lot of guys that are just on the older side that aren't progressing, but more regressing. Usable, serviceable, still want to improve long-term. Running back solid, quarterback solid, both wide receivers solid, tight end we'll see, but I like him. I think he's good. Defense, we added Nakobe Dean to be our new middle linebacker. We got a defensive tackle in Seiler, who is a bit on the older side as well. We have Johnson playing 2, Kendall Fuller in the slot, and then, nothing changes at free safety. I should start Boston, but Peppers is 15 overalls higher. I'm just going to start the realism guy rather than the guy that might develop. Also, going to be rocking the Atlanta playbook. Got a tight end I want to develop. 2 tall wide receivers, decent running back, decent quarterback. That's all I got for you. Only excuse. Some ups and some downs here. We have some contracts. Marte Mappa, I never thought in a million years I would actually be entertaining a $14.5 million deal per year for him, but I'm going to. 4-year 58 for an 82 overall superstar. The age is getting up there. I worry a little, but that's fine. $23 million per for Christian Gonzalez. The hope is to get to superstar. Doesn't really even need to, though. You'd hope, but you don't even need to. On Onwenu's gone, that's too much money for what, overall he is. Daniel is gone. Fuller likely gone with that regression. Seiler's gone. I mean, we're going to be losing a lot of guys, but as expected, even Trent Brown probably. These guys are one-year kind of bridge players, which I got to say, we didn't get much of the bridge built while they were here. I'll tell you that much. We need to replace Sly, I would say, with his age, and then we've had to pay Drake Maye already pretty much, which is like, really? I feel like we just blinked and he's already off his rookie deal. Ooh, 7-10, not our best work. We have the Falcons' offensive playbook and scheme. Didn't seem to change a whole lot. Now, don't get me wrong, the team is still a work in progress, but I feel like with this division, let's see how they're actually playing, to be fair. Yeah, I was about to say, with this division, I feel like we could be doing better, right? You have the Bills, obviously, but the Jets and the Dolphins, I don't really feel like are the best teams to be, having to worry about, but I guess they are. Drake Maye did have a way better season, which is a positive. Hampton, still not quite where we want him, but the yards per carry is already over 4, which is great. Cousins in the number 1 role, even with a different scheme, puts up crazy numbers. Going to go to Superstar, maybe even X Factor, which is great. McMillan definitely, a little bit less. Douglas solid. And I went with the Falcons playbook because I thought maybe Callahan would have a year, but I guess not. Center gave up 12 sacks. He's a rookie, but he's a center. Brown, 18 sacks allowed. And then what do we got here? Sacks for Scorton, 7.5. Barmore, 4.5. Seiler, 3.5. Styles, 2. Brinkley, 2. Gonzalez, 5. Fuller, 4. 3 for Dean, 3 for Johnson, 2 for Holland, 1 for Styles, 1 for Duggar. Kicking was actually great, so maybe we do keep Sly, and then Behringer. Glad to pay him a 3-year deal because he looks great. Could Gio Cousins win more than just Rookie of the Year? Could he win like Player of the Year? He was, where was he? Number 6, pretty good. Best wide receiver. We got Defense Rookie of the Year as well with Johnson. QBs have 6, running back definitely on the list. Those touchdowns were lackluster. Cousins does get to the Pro Bowl, but not the number 1 wide receiver. Still could get to X Factor, though. It would not surprise me. Who was that? It was Raider. I thought it said Patriots. Raiders and Patriots, when I look through these lists, they always confuse me. I always mix them up. Not a bad year. It's a better year as well, but yeah, I feel like if the Jets can be in the playoffs, why not us? And I guess more than the Jets making the playoffs, they're in the freaking Super Bowl. Okay. And the Jets win the Super Bowl at 9-8. Why not us? Tell me why it couldn't have been us. That is crazy. Let's take a look at the offense. You got 2 wide receivers that are, 85 plus, both superstars. No one else went up, unfortunately, though. Not even Drake Maye. And then defensively, we do get Gonzalez to superstar, and we get Johnson to star. Peppers regressed a little bit, but that's fine. He's still looking pretty good. Completely forgot about Brinkley, by the way, and didn't really have great edge rush numbers, but completely forgot about him. He had a chance to really do some things, didn't. But, yeah, the team's trending in the right direction. Problem is, we're going to be losing a bunch of, veteran names again, meaning based on pure overall, we're going to be dropping off yet again. 5-year option for Maye, honestly, I think you do it. Most of these contracts for quarterbacks like 55, 60 now. Let's do the realistic thing as well, where, obviously they're going to give him a 5th year. Pretty much every quarterback gets a 5th-year option, or he gets signed to it anyways. Fuller didn't regress that badly. I just think, we're asking for $20 million per as low 80s. Like, is the offensive line position that bad around the league right now that's demanding pay? Especially since those guys were all terrible, right? Like, Daniels is decent, I suppose, but the tackles weren't that good. Especially Trent, I think it was. I'm going to free agency with a lot of needs, let me tell you. We got to spend some of this money. Hopefully there's somebody there. Got to get some linemen. 2 linemen minimum would be nice. Let's see what we got. Any big names? Fred Warner, Stanley, Ronnie Stanley getting yourself a 91 overall. Let's see if he actually wants to join us. There's no one else offering. Do you not just bump in a little bit more just to guarantee? We have choked signings like this before. So, I think you want to just guarantee that signing. Jair is great. Don't need a corner. Brian Branch is great. We do need a safety, but I've definitely had a lot of negatives with signing safeties. So, yeah, we're going to have Holland as our safety long-term signing, and then we'll just replace what we need to with a rookie. Brian O'Neill. I like O'Neill quite a bit. I'd rather do a 1-year, though. I know. Who wouldn't as a front office? Less, long-term lock-in. Tank Dell, pretty good name there. Fuller, obviously, we just let go. But yeah, we're looking to replace 2 linemen, and I think we can do that with those 2 right there. Both tackles, we would just need a left guard and a right guard, which, that's not too bad. We can use Hartley if we have to. We really just need 1 lineman. We could go Elton Jenkins too, but I think we're fine. We just need to draft 1 lineman, and we're fine. We're good to go there. DT is definitely a positional need as well, but there's really not a good one here, so we'll just we'll go for that through the draft as well. Overshown, don't really need them. So, we got options, got needs, but with these linemen, if we get them, we'll have more openings that can be filled, and it won't be as bad. I think that's really where we're standing on, right? Those are the 2 players we want. Hopefully we get them, and we do. We get 2 brand new tackles, and they are way better than the previous ones. Talent and athleticism-wise, and, I guess talent is overall, but overall. We're all right. We are in the draft at pick 15 overall. I would argue our biggest positional need is defensive tackle. Got a 3 to 4. We got a 1 to 2. Scouted them further to see which one I want to go with. And Terrence Bush is a 1 to 2, looking like a round 1 true talent. That's good enough for me. Let's see what that dev is. True talent 21. Hidden dev, good pick. That's straightforward. I could have traded back maybe to 22, got him. I've seen 1 to 2s go, pretty high. So we'll We'll, instead of trading down every single first round, we'll actually take someone at our slot. Let's not move around every single time. Only when it makes the most sense. There, I'm fine with it. Clancy was still there that late, by the way. Safety Lauderdale's still there. You could argue 2 DTs are needed, but the problem is the better of the 2 remaining is really a nose tackle. It's 399 pounds. Safety Lauderdale. I know these guys sometimes stick it out till, basically the 3rd round, but not always, right? Not always. So I think Floyd Lauderdale going to take the chance with A hit power, B zone, B tackle, fast, young safety. True talent 5, hidden dev. That is one of the better safeties we've taken. Now, you could be star dev. It could only be like 75, 76 overall, but usually the guys we take are I shouldn't have went this far. I just remembered this was a really weak offensive line class. I just remembered that. Oh, but we're fine. Oh, he's 23. Oh, well, we've made our bed. It's time to sit in it, sleep in it. I don't know. Do whatever you want in your bed. Hidden Dev, 23 years old. He looks good, but yeah, 23 years old. Would have loved to take 2 offensive linemen. Not going to happen, though. Maybe we fix our draft class for the future since we definitely hurt it real bad last year. Or we take DT Joe Washington. 2 to 3 raw. I really like this build. Like a lot. I'm going to take him. If he's hitting, I'm going to trade Barmore. Barmore really hasn't done much for me. Yeah, I like the build a lot. He has that low strength. He's small-ish, and he's fast. Those guys are almost always hidden for me. Barmore's getting traded off for like a 3rd-round pick, I think. That's going to be the move. Here is the draft recap. 75 overall left end, 76 overall safety, 73 overall guard. He's 71 overall DT. Not a huge fan of the DTs overall, but I still think it's done enough. I think he's done enough. 81 block shed, 70 power move. Let's take a look at what his dev is like. Star dev, Lauderdale, 78 zone coverage, 91 speed, 83 hit power. Not very good at, pass, rushing, but I suppose not every team wants their safety to be blitzing. Very good player. Actually, we should have looked at his dev since we're moving to free safety anyways. Automatic starter. Really good draft pick there. 76 overall, hidden on top of it. I usually don't even get like one of those, let alone 2. Reminding me of Collins with that number from our actual Patriots franchise. Lance Trapp. No choice but to start him. Not a huge fan of only getting 1 lineman here. We're falling behind dramatically. Like we're getting a couple of older linemen every year in free agency, and we're basically having to replace them the year following. It's like 3 to 4 guys, and we're only replacing 1 a year. Maybe 2 technically because of Hartley, but Hartley is the next year, this year's replacement, if you will. And then we have Joe Washington, who he actually looks really good. 71 overall, but 80 finesse. Fast, obviously. Good block shedding. Interesting. I think he's good enough to replace Barmore. I do. I really do. I think Barmore's ceiling is reached. He's going to need a contract again soon, I imagine. This guy's got potential. Same as Bush. There it is. Barmore for a 3rd-round pick from the Denver Broncos. They offered the highest player and pick. It was like a 5th-round pick with Peyton Wilson, so I figured they wanted him the most. Gave it to him for a 3rd. Here we are for, what is this now, Season 3, the first 2 seasons. Definitely not what we were hoping for, but sort of trending upwards. Our tackles are by far the best they've been, but the interior of the line is not as good as it once was, so, you win some, you lose some. I suppose I would definitely take that trade-off. I think the offensive line tackle position is obviously the most important. Who is this? JC, okay, he's 24, who cares? So JC Davis, star dev, maybe we got something, we don't. The wide receivers are great, running back solid, tight ends decent, quarterback's great. Looking at defense, obviously a lot of talent here. Nakobe Dean also went to star, I don't know if I mentioned that. DT's brand new, actual potential for once. Edge, it's going to take a while to continue to develop them, but they're both about 80 overall plus. Corners are solid, safeties are solid. The team, at least for the most part, at least has those franchise level guys that we might hopefully be able to turn into a Super Bowl roster. $138 million. O'Neal, definitely a potential long-term option. It is a very costly price, but Stanley and O'Neal definitely could get re-signings if, they don't regress too hard, or in Stanley's case, retire. Pepper is going to regress. We've already replaced him at this point, and the rest are all backups. So, this money is basically getting burnt in our pocket if we don't spend it. I know we do have to pay, the 2 first-rounders in the beginning of this thing, but yeah, that's fine. McMillan probably gets the contract or the 5th year because A, it's going to cost that much, and B, he's red, and that's it. I don't know what else. Those are the two things. All right, no change from last year. The exact same offensive and defensive schemes. Didn't even change Detroit's defensive scheme. I don't even know if it's good. It's supposed to be a 3-4. We're in the wrong scheme in general, and yet we're cooking up numbers. I mean, I'm just saying. But yeah, we did really well without changing a thing. I guess we just needed a little bit more time to develop. Guys were young, needed some higher overalls, and just like that, we have a bye week with the Patriots. That's definitely a good thing. Definitely unexpected as well, even in year 3. Like I said, I felt like year 2, 1 or 2, could have maybe snuck in the playoffs, but to get a full bye week, the number 1 seed in the AFC of all conferences with the Patriots in year 3, a little surprise. Hampton, over 1,000 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns. Cousins, great season, looking like an X factor. McMillan, better than last year, but you put the guy in the slot, and the slot numbers just go up. They go way off. And we'll say look at the yards per catch attempt. And, McMillan's dependable, but he's just like a slightly lesser version of Mike Evans, right? Mike Evans squeezing just past 1,000 yards a couple of times. We're just like under 1,000 yards a couple of times. Styles, yeah, they thought we were in a 3-4. I mean, technically we are. We didn't actually put the right scheme on, but we won. Like, do I change it even though we've won? I don't know. Yearly awards, Drake Maye was 6 on MVP. Josh Allen wins the MVP, though, and we have Defense Rookie of the Year with Bush. Washington at 3. That's a good little run there. We'll take it. QB at 4. Running back at 6. Wide receiver at 2. O-line, no. D-line, maybe. Yep, number 8 for Scorton. Hopefully it is Scorton. I've heard it a few times. I think it is Scorton, right? Unless it's like Skjorton. I don't know. Styles at 3. Best DB at number 9 for the slot guy. And then McLaughlin, free agent kicker. Best kicker of the year. See, we got an eye for things. Really should be changing the scheme. You know what? We're going to do the thing. We're going to do the thing. We're going to do the Buffalo Bills. That is what we call doing the thing. It was actually a good year with the wrong scheme, arguably, but it is factually the wrong scheme. What we had this year could have been even better for all we know. The Raiders, okay, a little McDaniels, I don't even call it revenge, but 9-8 Raiders team. They actually win a game to get here. So, put a little respect on their name. They might actually be halfway decent. Who knows what quarterback did they take? I can't remember. Surely it was one of them, right? It was one of yous. Let's take a look at, okay, they're not going to be able to see it from there. Let's take a look at the depth chart. They have Mark Kelly, 85 overall with just enough speed. Crazy change of direction, which is weird. And then accuracy ratings that are very good. Very good throw power. All right. Got our bye week. Can we win a playoff game? It's one thing to even make the playoffs, let alone win a playoff game. Got the bye week on top of it, obviously. So, in a way, we have already technically won one since we're in the divisional. But 14-10. Trying to actually earn our way into a championship round here. 14-13. I really don't like the way this offense is playing. Huge play. There you go. Up by 3, down by 4. Raiders can put it away. They don't. We get a touchdown with the extra point. 2 minutes left. They can tie it up or go for the win. And they run out of clock. I'm not sure how that's possible, but we've been on the bad of that, so we are going to let it run. We're going to let it fly. Both quarterbacks were actually pretty good. Both threw a pick, but both, accurate, good touchdowns, good yards. Rushing, Hampton was decent. Other side, not so much. Cousins, unbelievable game. Myers and Bowers pretty good too, though. Callahan was solid with a touchdown. Hampton 51. Where the hell was McMillan? 1 for 22. 22-yarder, and that was it. A little bit of pass rush from us. They had one with Crosby. Marcus Jones with a pick. D'Angelo Gregory with a pick. Perfect kicking on both sides, and we'll be headed into the championship round. Not the strongest win, considering the Raiders are, still only an 85 overall, but in the championship round, one away. The Titans, bro, okay, I'm not trying to crap on Tom Brady, because he definitely had some tough roads, but if this is the most cupcake Patriots Super Bowl run I've ever seen, that we've seen a few in the past from, I don't know what is. This is crazy to me. Like, we've never seen this. I've never seen this easy of a run. The Raiders and the Titans, who are both barely over 500, really? I say that and we're going to lose anyways, but that's regardless of the point. Brother, please. We missed the extra point. We do get a touchdown, though. The Titans are now up by 11. This offense down by 3. Okay, they're making plays. It's all tied up. This is a crazy run, mind you. Wow, what a comeback. 31-17. For a moment there, I really thought we were going to look like some stupids. This is for you, Brady. We got the revenge on those Titans, which I guess so did Vrabel. Cam Ward, we drafted him as well in a rebuild recently enough. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Drake Maye, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Running, not so good. Receiving, Cousins, as good as usual. McMillan, there you go. That's what I want to see from him. 8 for 73, a bunch of 8 to 12 yard catches. We love to see it. Defensively, any sacks? I mean, I got to say, the one thing that really improved from last offseason to this were those tackles. We've been talking a lot about linemen lately, and what does it mean? They have a bad season, but they're a good overall. Does that give you a better chance to win, even if the sack totals suck? I mean, I'm not saying this is definitive, but it's supporting that argument, right? It is supporting that argument. Let's go to the Pro Bowl and then the Super Bowl, see where we're standing. It is the Seahawks. Okay, I'm not, once again, they're 12-5. They're not the worst team in the world, and they've had some success over the years. But in Madden, right now in Madden, this is not a team that constantly wins Super Bowls. This is a team that almost never even gets to them. Like I said, this is so far one of the most cupcake Super Bowl runs we've ever had. That is wild. That's kind of crazy. I mean, this is how these teams got here. What about Seattle? Do they have the bye week? 12-5, good enough for a bye week. A little surprise. They win by 3 against San Fran. They win by 14 against Philly. That's a pretty impressive win there. This could be a tough one. But yeah, let's take a look at the devs. Go in and see if we win ourselves a year 3 Super Bowl. From no playoffs to Super Bowl winner? That'd be crazy. Cousins, 91 overall already, as an X factor. Just got to put them out in front, and they will do the rest. Great catching, short route, and all that. Be funny if McMillan was actually like a deep... Ooh, speaking of deep... a deep threat guy. I need some water. I mean, it's really cracking again. He's not. He is short. So this team is super possession. This team, Tom Brady, we keep bringing him up because, I mean, let's be honest. This isn't a Packers fans talking about Rodgers thing, and even then that's not fair because he played a long time for them as well. This is Tom Brady is like the greatest ever, and he was this team's quarterback. He is their history, their entire... There will never be a time where talking about him would not be relevant. 30 years from now, it's relevant. It doesn't matter. That's how successful they were. He would die for this team. Sick, speedy running back, a bunch of really, really good possession, big body frame guys. Great tackles. What more could he have wanted? He would have probably never went to Tampa if he had this offense. Let's be real. That hits, I imagine, very hard. But looking at the defensive side of the ball, Dean's a superstar. Styles is an X factor. And then Bush, with the Rookie of the Year win, is an 88 overall superstar. That's pretty good. Some would say that's pretty good. Of course, show you the X factor. That's the hardest one to get. So, I mean, at this point, I'm the only one that brings up, cheating. I'm the only one that brings up, oh, I didn't do anything crazy or anything like that. No one cares. I just don't, sometimes we just have, unexpected, success that I'm well, that looks sus. And it's just no, we just do well. We got lucky. I still remember that one Rams rebuild where they looked really bad out the gate, yet we won 2 out of 3 Super Bowls or something like that. It was unbelievable. But here it is, the Seahawks, the highest overall we have faced, the highest win total we have faced. Let's go. Here it is. Can we do it? 7-0. All right. Okay, 10-0. 10-7. I mean, we've been playing well from behind. I don't know about this behind, though. 24-14 just after half. It's a 13-point game now. We're climbing back. I don't know if it's going to be enough. This is the comeback kids. These are the guys that have done it. We don't really have that quarterback anymore, but we still have a good team. Here it is. You got to get the stop. I mean, it's not over if you don't get it, but it is not looking good. Got to run commit. No choice. Literally no choice. Run or not. And unfortunately gets it. It's looking pretty dire. Don't let Seattle get their revenge. All right. Wait. They went for a 59-yard field goal. Hey, hold on. There's some things happening. Let me hold on here a second. No, I did not want to. They're playing the corner, so maybe I do want the post. That's a big guy. And he drops it. That is a pretty good throw, and that needs to be caught. Does that hurt my feelings? Yeah, it actually does. It sucks. Don't want to force this in McMillan. Got the running back who also drops it. Nice. I mean, it was 10-plus yards. I was willing to, just get some yards upfield because we're not really moving the ball yet. We're wasting the clock anyways. I mean, I've got nowhere else to throw it. They are covering well. We gained 5. Drake Maye threw 3 interceptions here. And there goes McMillan. He's not that fast, but he's got enough speed to get out of bounds. Killer move. Do we just take the shot to McMillan? I don't really like Cousins out here. I mean, they got double. Damn, they are not giving me an inch. Verticals just doesn't usually work for me. Just give us one-on-one with McMillan. Let the man go up and get it. Of course they won't. Nah, whatever. McMillan. And that is, that's got to be caught, dude. The DB played that so poorly. Oh, my God, all this time for nothing. We're just not going to get a Polks in now. This is really not like an end zone play. Go out of bounds. Good play, 4th and 1 to the 26. I mean, it's either got to be a touchdown or out of bounds. I'm setting up Cousins to the out of bounds line. And we're going to set up some streaks down the field for anyone else. Get that? What a catch to the 11. Okay, I'm scared. I don't like it. I don't really like those outs. They're way too shallow for my liking. Do have that Cousins route inside. I would really love a block here, but I'm not going to get it. Okay, I threw that in there early because I was like, I can get one shot. And now it's all or nothing. I don't like it. I do not like it. Drake Maye's fast. Do you see an opening here with 5 wide, 5D? Maybe. Oh, it's open! Touchdown! We've won! Assuming with the extra point, of course. You can't tell me with how hard that drive was that it wasn't deserved. Do you even realize how challenging that was? The buzzer beater after all of those misses. Oh my God, that ball went way too far left at the beginning. We win by 1 on a buzzer beater. And we won a Super Bowl in year 3. Let's go. Nice. Very nice. And I mean, I know in the playoff run we had the Bills defense, but we went 13-4 with a 3-4 type Lions D, It's kind of wild. It's pretty impressive, actually. And here we are celebrating a damn Super Bowl win. That's what I'm talking about. That is the stuff. That's the juice. Year 3. I mean, obviously we'll go for the sort of dynasty. That's weird to think 2 out of 3 is a dynasty when this team's had like genuine dynasties of like 3 out of 4. But yeah, we're going to go for that thing. And that's obviously a 1-to-1 representation of Vrabel. Look at the move. I mean, if McMillan was even like 2 speeds slower, which he's already really slow, you're looking at a loss. We would have had no time. We had 2 seconds there right at the end to win that game. Great play by Cousins on the outside as well. And then they're going to show a 5-yard gain instead of the game-winning touchdown. That's pretty sweet. Did they actually not show the touchdown, but all those other random plays? Drake Maye won a Super Bowl throwing 3 interceptions. Also, that last touchdown, I don't feel like they counted it, no? I think he was 2 for 3 before that. Both running backs, the exact same yards per carry, just a little bit better volume from Walker, a little bit better broken tackles as well. I mean, Drake Maye had a rushing touchdown in there. He was gritty. It wasn't a good performance, but it was a Super Bowl winning one. The team won. Who actually would have gotten MVP for this team? I kind of want to guess it. Do they get the MVP? Like, it's not really like. I mean, Witherspoon is the best out of anyone. No one was really great on offense for us. Drake Maye might get it by default. He did have 3 touchdowns, just a lot of turnovers too. And here it is. I mean, no funny business, nothing crazy. Year 3, Patriots, Super Bowl. Let's go for 2 more. See if we can maybe get a 3-peat. Who knows? Aiming for one in our Patriots franchise itself. And Ronnie Stanley does the Ronnie Stanley thing, which is, of course, just retire. He did win a Super Bowl, so fair enough. It's worthy this time, but still disappointing nonetheless. You got to replace a freaking tackle. We have all this money to not spend on anybody. Definitely, without a doubt, going to be paying Mr. O'Neal. That is a given. 5th-year option for McMillan. What do we got for Scorton? 26. I mean, you might as well just pay him normally at that rate. O'Neal, he is an 85 overall. I don't like a 2-year, but I don't hate it either. okay, I guess he's like, well, you're going to hate your right tackle position. But no, I'm not. I'm going to tag him for a little bit more than we were offering per year, which he should have accepted, if we're being honest. But his choice, do whatever the hell you want. McLaughlin, obviously, it's expensive, but he just had a kicker of the year season, so welcome back to your 12. We got a lot of money as well. You gotta start paying some people, get that depth going, keep them going, whatever it is. And here we are in free agency, looking at some very enticing names. Of all the names, I'd probably be looking at Landon Dickerson, Terrion Arnold. Don't really need him. Just like all the positions here, sadly, are just positions I don't need. Right? Like we need a tackle, sure. But that's like basically it. We don't need, maybe a guard, I suppose. But we don't need running back, even though Gibbs is, enticing. We don't need DT, even though Carter's enticing. So, I guess we go Dickerson. Maybe another lineman, perhaps. BB, I suppose, could be an option. But yeah, for sure Dickerson, and then we'll see what we want to do elsewhere. I don't think Guyton's really the high overall that I'm looking for. And it's because he's not a high overall, I guess would be the point there. I also tried to get Pooney, but didn't work out. Landon Dickerson, a 90 overall guard. What an addition. Need a new tackle already, though, because Ronnie... Man, if Ronnie didn't retire, dude, why did he have to retire? You're 34. Come on, man. You're not that old. That is really unfortunate. Oh, well. All right, pick 32, obviously. At this point, there's actually not a position we physically need. We could use a tackle. Actually, we might need one tackle. We could use a tackle, but even that is not necessarily absolutely necessary. 6'7", Jaron Patterson, 22, good speed, good athleticism, good pass blocker, it seems. Might be worth taking 2 to 3. Do you not just take him in the first round, get that fifth-year option in case you want to keep him long-term? I think that's fine by me. I'm down. Jaron Patterson, round 1, late first, 60 true talent, hidden dev, okay. We actually drafted a freaking tackle for once when we need a tackle. Usually we're like, hey, let's get a guard, put him at tackle. But this time we've actually done the right thing. See if we want to go with another lineman, as I did like McCoy, and I think we're going to stick with McCoy and probably trade up for Noble and call it a draft. Very quick draft, but don't need much, and we don't have much, so it's a good time to have that be the case. Another hidden development trade, offensive lineman. That's a win. Oh, we don't actually need to trade up, I don't think. We have pick 11 in the third instead of a late third. We must have traded our own third. Winners. We cooked. Let's go Noble. 1 to 2, 6'5". We don't even need DT. It's just if I needed anything, it would be depth at DT. If that, Noble, why not? True talent 30. Also hidden. That's a good draft class. That is good. We could maybe use a linebacker as well. I don't know who we have to pay in the future, but some of those guys are kind of getting older. Mapu and Nakobe Dean, sort of. Mapu's always 28 now, or about to be. Let's see what we want to do. I don't think there's going to be anything here. Backup running back would be nice. I still don't think that's something we're going to get, though. Bears give us a 4th-round pick for 2, 6, and a 7th. It's not a bad trade if you want the quantity, which normally that's what we do, but since we have a good team right now, just won a Super Bowl, I don't really need it. Just going to, bolster up for next year with an extra draft pick and sign a bunch of, mentor veterans that are going to want to be here because we're winning and call it a day. Beckham was a really bad draft pick. I took him in the 5th round. He was a big dude, thought he'd be a decent pass rusher. Speaking of pass blocker, Patterson, really good, but he was not. Let's take a look at Patterson, see if he's superstar dev. Get lucky? We are not. This is why I just take whatever lineman and move him over, because there's no real difference. Except if you look at it, McCoy's a better player. I don't know if he is a better player. He's a 76 overall, but he's a higher overall. That's for sure. Traits, and he's a superstar. Okay, there's a good chance he projects as a tackle in the future. Right tackle for Brian O'Neill. We'll see. 75 overall, not bad there either. And then Cordell Noble, very good finesse, solid strength, maybe even better than Washington, but unless he's a superstar X-Factor or something like that, probably not going to start there, and he won't. Good depth, though, for, all the players we got. Trenches, building them up. We have Season 4 now, and the crazy part is we just won a Super Bowl without having that Bills scheme off on the, regular season. So 13-4 with a 3-4 set up as a 4-3. That's why Styles had 8 freaking sacks. So we could even be better this year. Wide receivers are great. Running back solid. Quarterback solid. Tight end getting there. O-line, we're losing and gaining here and there. You lose a 91 overall left tackle, you gain a 90 overall left guard. So we're doing our best, especially with those retirements. Linebacker is definitely not going as far as I thought it was going to go, but they're pretty good. They're a good unit. They're a top 10 unit for sure. most linebackers, they maybe have one good player. If you're lucky, you get a second. You don't get 3 good to greats, As far as safeties go, Holland hasn't really developed, which is really disappointing. 84 overall only. So, it just proves that not every player is guaranteed to be just a goon just because. But Joe Washington going to still get the start, even though I feel like Noble might be a little bit better long-term. Washington looks great. 88 overall, let's get that repeat. 163 mil. Styles asking for a lot, but he is that kind of guy. He is that good. Drake Maye, obviously, about 50 per, 1 per. Hampton. We can afford all of this, I think. Holland's for sure gone, though, so that's a position we'll definitely need to get. O'Neal, we have a replacement for, so we're not going to pay him, especially how much he wants. We're going to have money left over, which is unbelievable, right? Brinkley and Johnson, sure, they're going to cost a lot of money too, but we should be fine. We should be fine. Let's take care of these contracts, see where we're standing. 6-year, 114. He's so good. I get it. We're kind of risking it. Maybe even put him at safety. Multiple times we've said we're going to do that, and we never do. Is this the time we actually just say, F it, we're doing it? So good at safety, but I suppose really good at running back or linebacker as well. Speaking of running back, 5-year deal for Mr. Scorton. Did he say no? Really? That's not Scorton anyways. That's Hampton. But speaking of Scorton, why not? Why not? Hey, I was about to say, get that contract done and I'll be Scorton. Scorton, not anyways, Stevenson's still here as a 71 overall. That's kind of surprising. Those 5th-year options, we do have to save a little bit of money for. 68 mil with everyone taken care of that we want to. That's great. That's really ahead of things. 13-4 again. We had a really, really good start of the season, then kind of fell off. Look at McMillan. Then kind of fell off and then had a really good, strong finish to get that bye week, lock that thing in place. Actually, we just had 2 losses there and then we just didn't lose much, okay? The 2 losses in a row felt like it was bad, and then, they started winning again. Stats, Drake Maye, unbelievable numbers. Is it MVP? I think he's slightly outside of it, but if he doesn't get to superstar this time, dude, I don't know what to say. Hampton, yards per carry, they're climbing. McMillan, great stuff. 22 touchdowns, 1,700 yards. Douglas, really good numbers. Cousins, not great compared to what he's used to, but, the way the scheme works. The slot guy is always going to put up the biggest numbers. If you put Douglas at 3 with the slot, he's going to still put up the most numbers. It's always whoever leads the slot gets the number 1 yards. Callahan, though, might go to superstar. Those touchdowns, double digits. Blocking, pretty good. Defensively, 3 guys in the double-digit mark. Brinkley, disappointing without a doubt, but he'll get there. A couple of 3 interception guys, bunch of 1s. McLaughlin is horrible this year. Glad to pay him literally league-high money for a kicker. And then Behringer, a little worse than last year, but still over 50 yards per punt. MVP does not go to Maye. He's number 3. I expected it, dude. I don't know. I get the picks are 9, but I still thought even 9 is really low, right? Number 3 QB. Running back, not even there. Touchdowns, just lacking. McMillan at number 2. O-line, no. D-line at number 6, 7, and 9. Linebacker, no. Best DB at number 9. Best kicker, definitely not. As a horrible year. But we won a Super Bowl last year, and we're going for a 2-peat. How many other teams can say that? Literally 0, because we just won. The Texans, we have 5 overalls on them. It's a little bit tougher of an opponent than last year's start, or entire run, for that matter. Here we go, end of the game, 3-0. 3-3. Into the second quarter, 10-3. Still 10-3. 13-3. 20-3. 20-10, looking pretty good. And with that touchdown, that is going to win us the game, heading us to the championship round. That bye week, man. The Patriots, they're very familiar with that as well, with those Brady years. Maye, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Great performance. Hampton was amazing. Douglas was solid. Cousins was good. Callahan was decent. And then McMillan's back to his usual ways in the playoffs of just not showing up. Bush and Scorton with a bunch of sacks, 0 picks. Clean kicking from both sides. No excuses there. And it's the Steelers. Some pretty classic matchups in here. See if we can continue the streak. End of the game. 3-0. Steelers starting off first. It's all about how you finish, though. We've had some really tough starts and great finishes. 14-3. Did we really turn this team into a dynasty? I mean, it's the Patriots. Who would have thought? So I guess I chose an easy dynasty team, huh? I will say, ironically enough, there was some similarities here between our Patriots franchise itself and this rebuild. There are some similarities, Patton is a little bit faster version of Cousins. McMillan is, he's a taller version of Polk, right? McMillan is not the fastest guy. Obviously 3 inches taller, which does play a huge factor in the decision to go for him. Big frame, wide radius, catcher. But, very similar tight end, 6 guys taller than Faulkner, but also not the fastest. Offensive lines, maybe a couple of them have been a little bit better. Edge has been good, not great. DT's better than the edge. That's where we're at right now, arguably. Linebackers, great. Corners, great. Safeties, you got one really good one and then one, decent one. A lot of similarities there. I might be reaching here, but I'm just speaking. I'm just wording, throwing words. The Panthers in the Super Bowl, okay, a little bit of a cupcake matchup. I'm not really sure what they look like right now, but we'll take a look at that dev. If it's not superstar for Maye, that is a straight-up scamaz. That's a scam. There you go. McMillan also an X-Factor. What a draft pick, let me tell you. Look at him. Deep route's kind of bad, and obviously the speed hasn't changed, but that frame, how does he drop anything? Of course, in Madden, I would not want him over someone faster, just the way the game is, and being honest with you, Callahan no dev up really sucks. But yeah, in real life, that is really hard to cover. That is literally Mike Evans. A little bit slower though. Defensively, Bush was already superstar. No dev ups. No dev ups at all, but the team didn't really need dev ups. They're already really good across the board. Here we are, 2-peat chance. Let's see it. Here we are for the 2-peat. Better start than we're used to as well. Usually we're, making a comeback and then we pull away, but we're pulling away early. 14-6. Chance to really put it away there. It's a close game. It's an 8-point game. Huge field goal. 17-6. Defense is going to do its job, and we're going to get ourselves a Patriots versus Rams type Super Bowl win here as we do complete the 2-peat on our way to a 3-peat. And yes, I know the Falcons playbook is it's no slouch on offense, but it's still not the number 1 or number 2. In my opinion, it's up there, but it's not 1 or 2. Feels, some similarities between our roster and theirs. Even with a running back with Hampton. I like it. I like it all. I think the only difference is we don't have that athletic tight end, but we do have a tall one. He's 6'6". Not as athletic, but he is 6'6". See any retirements? I don't think we had any lineman type of retirements this time. Rasul Douglas, some mentor types. But yeah, retiring some guys with some more rings, some more hardware. Let's go to re-signings. Did we finish them all? I think we did. We got Hampton, 5-year, I don't even know what it was at this rate, but 5-year, a lot of money. We must have missed something. There's no way we have 85 mil. Who do we want to pay? Brinkley at 19 is not bad, but if they're both green, that's a big thing for me as well. It's not just about how much they're asking for, but also the re-sign interest. If they're green right now and it stays to green, it's going to be easy to re-sign them. Might as well just take care of it right away, right? Right end, right tackle anyways. O'Neal, we've got the replacement for. We're fine. Sorry, buddy, we do not need your assistance anymore. Feel bad because we just won 2 Super Bowls with him, but at the same time, last season he actually did try to leave, and we tagged him. We saved him. We got him an extra ring, and he still got paid a lot, so, he tried to leave us. Jordan Love, 30-year-old, 89 overall in free agency. Maybe there's a lineman we need. I'm going to pay attention. Tippmann, great value. So, I'm gonna look, but off the top of my head, I can't really think of a position. I think we're gonna save our money. All right, we know that our biggest need is by far safety. There's no question about it. We're gonna be going to 32. I don't know who's gonna be there. A lot of 1 or 2s in there, and most of those guys don't usually actually get drafted. And that will be the same case here yet again. Max Richardson. We also do have Lowry, who's a top 5. Do you just play him at safety? Super speedy. That is a tough pass on if we don't go for him. I got to say, Max Richardson. You compare the two, and Max Richardson looks like a corner. It's like, I'm going to take the safety, though. We've been doing the right thing this whole time. I'm going to keep it going. 20 true talent. I've made a mistake. We make a trade up to grab that corner. Hartley, a 2nd round and a 5th round to move up 30 spots in the 2nd round. Pretty good trade for us. Obviously, Hartley has a little bit of value. Not physicals. We wanted to go with Lowry, the top 5. Maybe he's a free safety. Move our free safety to strong. I'm not sure. Top 2, true talent. Yeah, I should have just taken him right away. We knew that was going to happen, but still, we found a way to get him. That's all that matters. We're now all the way into the late 3rd. Are we taking another DB? Seen him as maybe a potential safety type. True talent, 91. Not very fast, but good jumping. Definitely an interesting build. What the hell happened? He just skipped my draft recap completely. It's fine, though. We'll take a look at the players. 75 overall, Richardson, Max Richardson. 72 zone, 77 man. Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected that. Yet I took him over Lowry. We ended up going Lowry anyways. Chester Lowry. Not the best tackling. Don't really see him as a safety, to be honest. But at this rate, he's our best bet. Should we not just start him as strong? I don't care. I'm going to do it. Start Ev. Auto starter, and then everyone else is basically backup level players. The final team, and we're gearing up for a three-peat opportunity. Drake Maye, 90 overall, and 94 for Cousins, 94 for McMillan. These receivers have been, unbelievable. Offensive line solid. Defensively, linebackers 85 plus across. Safety, we're restarting at Lowry. It's strong safety, but looks like it'll be at least an 80 by the end of the year. D-line's all 85 plus. Corners are solid. 90 overall team that kind of snuck up on us, but yeah, it is a very good team and deserving of this three-peat opportunity. 145 million, McMillan will be able to pay. Ooh, I do not like Cousins because they're both asking for the same price, the same age, same dev, same overall, but one of them doesn't want to be here. Johnson, I mean, none of these guys seem like they want to be here. Callahan, high overall for him. Powers, you should be able to afford Brinkley. So I think you, once again, as usual, kind of take care of these contracts in order of can I replace them to not can I replace them or can I not replace them. So 6 year for McMillan, that's going to be tough. If he's protesting that, then Cousins is going to be like, I don't even know. This 4 year 140, there we go. It might have been a little excessive, but still. Johnson, obviously, you want to pay, but we've really not had money issues, so I would imagine we're going to now. It is going to be bad. I'll do a 4 year for Callahan. I don't really necessarily love how he's played, but he's a good overall. He's tall. He's good. Powers, I love the contract, so I'm obviously going to do a 6 year deal. We're now down to 42 million. We're going to pay Brinkley, and then you probably lose Dickerson and Douglas. And Dean. Dickerson, Douglas, and Dean, which I could live with. And is this like a revolving door? It's like it never ends. It keeps going and going and going. 6 year 108 for Brinkley. Even though he hasn't really played super well, the contract is too good to pass on. So we have 24 million left. We would need to replace linebacker, wide receiver, debatably, because it's wide receiver 3, and Dickerson, which, that's fine. We could easily do that. We are in the playoffs. It wasn't a great season at midpoint. This could be a bad season. Be very wild to go 2-peat and then not make the playoffs, but that is a possibility. And no, we finished really strong. Okay, so I left this team at 5-5. They finished 12-5. Wow, we were not getting the bye week anyways. The Bills were 16-1. Did we at least give them one of their losses? That's all I ask. Nope, we didn't. But yeah, really good. We 5-5 on to 7 straight, it seemed. Let's take a look at stats and awards now. Didn't see our guys in the top 3 for anything. Yeah, huge regression year. Hampton's looking good, almost 5 yards per carry. McMillan was great. Douglas was solid. Callahan and Cousins, Callahan good. Cousins not so much. O-line, wow. 25 sacks allowed for the 2 tackles. Then we look at the pass rush. Really good numbers from Brinkley. 16.5 for a 6-year deal. Totally worth the money. Should go to Superstar. Scorton could go to Superstar. Bush was great. Washington was better. Gonzalez and Johnson were solid. The defense is really good here. Offense definitely took a step back, and that's probably why, that 12-5 season happened instead of 13-4 again. Josh Allen wins yet another MVP. Jordan Love returns back to the Packers, and we see no award wins, I don't believe, because not only did we not start rookies, but outside of Brinkley, we didn't really have that great of a season statistically. Good numbers, not top of the league numbers. But here we are, 12-5. First time we've been on the road in literally this entire rebuild. Here we go, the Cleveland Browns. I don't know why. Something's telling me that they have a chance to win this game. 7-3 still, 7-6, 13-7, 19-7. I mean, was I wrong? 22-7. I mean, if they don't make a play soon, they're going to lose this game. And yeah, I mean, I did feel this. Like I said, I felt there was a possibility. 3rd and inches, you got to get this stop to have any sort of chance. And even then, it's a tough one. Oh, great. They gave me freaking mid. And my brain went to mid. I got to run commit as well. Let's get in there. And we do get the stop, so there's going to be a chance. Not a great one, but there is a chance. Try to get a squeeze block. I think you really need the block desperately if you want to get this win. Come on. Oh, did we hit the kicker late? Oh, my God. Why is he leaving that? Because he's a smart man. Here we go. Back to this nonsense. Didn't really work out for us last time. And, yeah, he took care of that easily. There was an opening there. The throw just wasn't there. Did we do something wrong? I don't know what happened there, but sure. Douglas on the far outside is crazy. And we're not going to get a chance. Throw away. This is going to be where we failed desperately, huh? We won a Super Bowl for this team, arguably, with clutch play. Not even arguably, with clutch play. Probably going to lose him a chance at one here with the opposite of clutch play. And Hampton can't get out of bounds. Oh, no. And we need as many yards as we can get, right? So I feel like I had to. I mean, he has a chance at this. And he catches it, but he's not going to have a chance, I don't think. Oh, no. Yep, that was a crazy catch, but all for nothing. We ran out of time. If Hampton would have got out of bounds, we would have had the time to do it. Try to get out of bounds, couldn't. And we're going to lose in the wild card round after a back-to-back Super Bowl run. All good things must come to an end. Drake Maye, once again, 3 picks. He's had a couple of those now, and we were not able to save him from it, unfortunately. What a catch that was, but all for nothing. 3 picks to the same player, by the way. Justin Reed, who at this rate, I mean, he's got to be like 73 overall at best, maybe even lower. We'll have to take a look. It's actually better than I thought. He's 32 years old, superstar dev at an 82 overall. That's actually still really good. Okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. It's not bad. But let's take a look at who wins the Super Bowl and take a look at how our team fared dev-up-wise. No 3-peat, but a 2-peat. Still amazing, obviously. As the Bills are going to be taking on the Bears. So, Browns didn't even make this Super Bowl with that win against us. Feeling even more lackluster after that now. Opportunity, and, if they would have at least gone to the Super Bowl, maybe won it, it's like, okay, well, we lost to the team that was destined to win, but no, we lost to the team that didn't even make it. Bills, of course, win it. They felt destined the whole way. So, on top of the 2-peat, mind you, 3 AFC East Super Bowl winners in this one. That's kind of wild. I don't think Miami ever sniffed the playoffs, let alone a Super Bowl, but let's take a look at how our team developed. Obviously, some really high overalls on this offensive side. 96 for McMillan, 6'5", 211. Just a jump ball machine. Deep route, not that great, but at the same time at 89 speed. I don't know how deep you're getting anyways before the quarterback sack. Geo Cousins, 91 speed. Release is actually pretty mid. Deep route's better, but release is a little mid. Very good player nonetheless. Pretty much everything is like 90 plus, almost 99, everything. Hampton finally got into that, 90-something range. Really showed it off with damn near 5 yards per carry. Pretty good stuff. Let's take a look at Drake Maye now. The 92 overall superstar, 28 years old. Deep accuracy, just like we kind of struggled for a while in our Patriots franchise itself. Not the best, but everything else is great. Obviously, super athletic, almost 90 speed. Did he get a speed up boost? That feels like higher than even our Drake Maye, unless that's just what they have him at now. Callahan, great route running short and medium, not so much deep. Really good catching. Not very athletic, but it's 6'6". You got that frame, and it works out. O-line, none of these guys are real-life names. We developed a pretty good offensive line here. And for the most part, we can afford them other than maybe Dickerson. Defense, Mapu, 85 overall, 30 years old. I really never expected him to stay on the team this long, but he impressed us. He came out swinging. Really good dev up early on, and maybe didn't hit the highest of ceilings, but still was very good, very serviceable. Sonny Styles, super cheap contract for him. Great zone coverage. Once again, could play safety. Could play corner, right? 6'4", 90 speed corner. He could easily do that. He's a little big, but I guess just press him into the ground. Then you have Lauderdale, who, did he just get to superstar this season? He did. What a freaking guy. Great zone coverage as well. Good speed. Hit power's up there. Solid player. Not a bad player at all. Then obviously we got Lowry, who we just got. Don't think he won Rookie of the Year. Would have went up in dev. I don't even think anyone was close to Rookie of the Year. He's a balanced guy. Probably does fit better as an actual corner. But just like with Collins and our Patriots franchise, I keep bringing it up. Pretty much forced to play safety instead of corner. Gonzalez, speaking of, another name. Really good. Basically 99 everything and all the ratings that matter other than speed. Still 93 speed's great. Then you look at Johnson, the 6'4" corner. We went 6'4" in that Patriots franchise as well. This guy's nowhere near as good as McKenzie, but he is still very, very, very good. Just not quite as fast or the X factor McKenzie is. Then we move on to the D-line, where arguably this actually is better than our D-line. So there's the positive. Scorton, great power move, decent finesse, okay block shed, smart player. Play rec's a little lower than I would have thought by now, but very good player, obviously. No dev up, though, for Brinkley. 16.5 sacks. Scoring I can kind of see, but 16.5 sacks isn't a good enough dev up season. That's a little wild. 97 power move. Block shed's a little low. Play rec awareness, all that good stuff. A little bit slow on the edge, but they obviously, started to put up some good seasons for us. Hell, even, in the 3-4, they were actually halfway decent. Bush, 90 overall. I'm pretty sure it was 88, 90 after the first season. 95 plus and all the ratings that matter for a defensive tackle. He was obviously the anchor of that interior. And then Washington, following suit. He's not too far behind. These contracts are going to be ridiculous, by the way. But great finesse, solid block shed, another smart player. Do you have anything special teams to look at? I don't think so, right? You have Behringer, I guess. But obviously Sly's long gone. He's 73 overall for how many consecutive years? 96 kick power, 88 accuracy. Pretty good punter. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate continued support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PKR plays for not Madden content. I've been thinking about maybe doing another Zombies gameplay just to kind of break the time in between deciding a new series. And I didn't even put up a poll that I said I was going to on, maybe I did on the main channel, or maybe I'll do it on the second channel of what game we should play next. I'm kind of leaning towards Last of Us 2 because it's been so long since that game's already been out, but I have no idea this whole controversial, twist or whatever, and I kind of want to learn about it without, I guess, oh my god, spoiling it. I just dropped something crazy, and kind of want to play it, but we'll see what happens, what you guys want to see, if you even want to see a new series over there on the second channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what team you want to see next, of course. Thinking about maybe the Bears, the Lions post. I don't know. I kind of want to look at teams we haven't actually done as well, because we're kind of redoing teams now that have different, outlooks and different end of season, finishes and whatnot, and draft picks, draft range. Regardless, though, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya. And once again, shout out to all the members of the channel. Appreciate you all a ton. If you are not a member already and you want to become one, click the join button next to the subscribe button, and all the details will be in there. And of course, we've had a couple of members exclusive videos, so maybe check those out. Maybe throw in some draft champions or a gauntlet video sooner rather than later. Maybe even move some series over there that we're kind of phasing out, like maybe Saints franchise if we do another season, or potentially Patriots franchise at some point. We'll see. But yeah, regardless, remember or not, appreciate y'all for watching, and see